Hello everyone, this is Mac Dre Studios back at it again with the lore episodes. It's been a while since the last time I did the last one. This episode I'm going to be talking about Agony, Hallows, and Silencer. I'm just going to call them the experiment trio for now because I don't really honestly know what to call them. I would really call them like rabbits, bunnies, but they have wings and bunnies don't even have wings, so who am I kidding? They are my OCs, yes, I just don't know what to call them yet. I haven't even thought about their species name, but I'm sure I'll figure something out in the future. But for now, I'm going to be telling you something about what's going to happen in this lore episode. In this lore episode, I'm going to explain Agony first, then Hallows, then Silencer, and then after that, I'm going to explain all the relationships with each other, their likes, their dislikes, and their backstories about themselves. Also, how they get along within the future is what I'm trying to say. I feel like I'm stalling right now, so let's just get on to the lore episode and explain about Agony.
Good reason. We were wrong about Vecna. Henry. What are we calling him now? Right. We've learned something new about Vecna/Henry/1. He's a number like 11, only a sick, evil male, child-murdering version of her with really bad skin. But my point is, he's super powerful. He could turn us inside out with a snap of his fingers. It's not a fair fight.
Sorry about that. I thought this would be funny since it does explain Agony in a nutshell. Okay, now on to the lore. Now I'm gonna explain about Agony/April/3 Shallow. Yes, we got the last name here, because RS did confirm the last name of Pietro, aka her father. So yeah. So Agony was created by Machine, along with the rest of her siblings, the Shallow family. And she had quite adventure in childhood. Well, I would say young adulthood. But let me just get on to the point. Alright, so basically her whole life story is that she was born from Machine because she was created by, I don't know what kind of energy yet, RS haven't confirmed that yet, but she was created by Machine. But unlike the others, she was created differently. She was born blind and different than the rest, mostly because she was born as a creature. Pietro and the others couldn't know what was wrong with her. Some say something went wrong with the Machine, meanwhile the others think that she must have got some kind of illness. But they can't confirm what that illness is. So they had to do quite a lot of experiments on her in order to either get her back to normal or try to fix her at least, because she looked too different from the others, and that's not the way Pietro planned. Unlike the others could age up pretty fast. They aged up to 6 within 1 week, meanwhile Agony's age got delayed, so she was stuck being a toddler until they could figure out what was the matter with her. Later they gave her the exact thing she needs, the shots, and then she managed to grow up just like the others. But what's funny is that Pietro still sees that something is wrong with her. They just can't figure out what it is. So they decided to put on a blindfold on her in order for her to control her sickness from spreading even further throughout her body. But then, many years later, they all became 18. Pietro made them forget about everything that's happened in their childhood and sent them away. Meanwhile, Agony noticed that she wasn't the one who was sent away. So that's when she made her grand escape. But she didn't do it alone. If you guys saw my other video, you guys would know that Hallows was the one who helped her escape the laboratory. Ever since then, Hallows and her went to the other dimension where they can get away from the real world into a whole new one. They call it the Red Lake. They always been stuck there within the Red World in order to get away from the real world, and Agony could forget all about it. She always used to call herself 3 until Hallows gave her a new identity named Agony, so she can forget who she used to be. But it's not going to be easy to forget everything that's happened, because since she's different from the others, her memories are still contained, unless something could happen in order to make her forget. For many years, well, some years, she was raised by Consequences, Nightmare, Greed, and some of the other people who cared about her. But she used to spend most of her time with Hallows a lot of times, because they used to be together once when they were 18 through 19. But then all time later, something started to go wrong. Without expectation, Hallows started to attack her. Hallows did try to rip her eye out, but instead she got a mark from it instead, so that's how she got her scratch mark. She wasn't born with that mark, she just got scratched by Hallows whenever he tried to rip her eye out, so that's how the mark exists. But it's also known as the cursed eye, is what Hallows likes to call it. They had a huge fight, but Agony ended up losing to him, and then got brainwashed later on. So then he ordered her to attack Consequence for his powerful powers that I think will be revealed within the aftermath of Revamp Returns. I mean, who knows? But Agony did try to attack Consequence, but then he had ended up having no choice but to send her inside the Red Lake as her prison for years. Until Riley came along and she used the Siren's voice spell to lure her into her trap. But the thing is, over time, the more she was stuck within the Red Lake jail, the more her memories were withered and erased. So it was like a whole new start of life for her, like she felt like she was born, but she wasn't. She is now like somewhere 21 or 22, because she's been stuck in that jail for almost 2 years now. But within later on, she took on her full form and got her real form back by using the remaining remnants and Agony she still had left in her. So that's why she kept calling herself Agony, the most powerful darkness. How I would describe her, how she's gonna act in season 2, is that she will be like a villain persona, but she won't be the brightest kid in class until later on when she becomes more mature and grown up. She would sometimes want to go solo on most of her timing, but since Riley is her only friend, is what she likes to call her only friend, she would usually stick to her because she feels like Riley understood her the most, more than anyone else, including her father. So I think that's all of her lore for now, because I can't think of anything else. And, oh, fun fact, she also keeps her white hair streak hidden, so that's why you guys can't basically see it often. She would usually tell herself that she's the most powerful being and creature that she ever hoped to be, and one day she would be able to take over the world with Riley as her henchman on her side. So that's what she basically hopes for, and that's all her lore I can explain for now. Until next time with her lore. And now, Hallows is next, aka Agony's ex. Now onto the lore of Hallows/Mason. Hallows is his real name, meanwhile Mason is his human name. You basically know some of him since he's the one who helped Agony escape from the laboratory since they were 18. And they did used to date back then. They did used to date because Agony did own him for saving her life at the laboratory. So that's how they both got together and then started dating for like almost a year. When they were trying to do a 1-year anniversary special, his surprise was giving Agony the cursed eye mark, what he likes to call it. So he would tend to hurt or kill Agony and kill whoever's in his way. And he only has one goal in life: taking over all universes along with all his clones. That's right. He is the son of the master who created all the clones, which I mentioned earlier. I don't know what to name the creatures. But they were created to do one thing, including Agony: destruction. He also has his own famous quote called, "All shall kneel, not heal." Quite a rhyme, eh? But his purpose was to bring destruction to all universes and bring them onto their knees. And then he and his father will take over all universes all over the world. His purpose as a commander, he has to make sure all the clones follow to do their exact destiny. Destruction is what he shall force within their minds, including Agony. That's why he pretended to date her. It wasn't because of love. It was because he wanted to trick Agony to thinking that everything was all destruction, so that way he could be able to make her one of his clones too. But unfortunately, that ended up being a fail, so that's why he had to end up killing her and mind controlling her later on. Many years, he thought Agony was done for, being locked away within that lake many years later, until somebody told him that Agony was back to life once again, and that she has returned. That really turned the tables on Hallows. So that's why he had to do whatever he can to find a way to kill her, one way or another. If he can't get rid of her, then he might as well try to amputate her, since he knows her memories are a loss. He also hates all people, including Agony's people who cares about her, including his brother Silencer. He hates him very much. He hates most people, so he's very edgy. And yeah. Okay, so back to the point. The point is, he would do anything to kill whoever gets in his way of his only goal is to get rid of Agony if she messes everything up. So that's basically all I can explain about Hallows / Mason for now, until later on in Revamping Returns or the Aftermath or the crossover. And yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed his lore. And now on to his brother Silencer. Unlike Hallows, he's very different from him. Yes, they are related, but they are both completely different. Silencer / Shane doesn't hate Agony. He loves Agony very deeply much. Not in a romantic way. He mostly sees her like a big sister. So that's why he deeply loves her very much. He sees her as a caring big sister that he really looks up to and wants to be strong and powerful just like her. And he would hope that they would meet each other once again. They did meet once before in the Red World before Agony and Hallows got into their little fight. Silencer / Shane used to be locked up within Hallows' basement, which he likes to call his dark basement. After that, Silencer / Shane never wanted to live with him again. He mostly just starts living on his own until he gets discovered later on and then be raised. Unfortunately, there is a secret to him that nobody knows. He has access to all universes. That's right, he can open every single portal to each and every one a universe. He can even send people here if he so desires. But they have to be dead in order to do it. So that's why in the other video, when you saw all the other Lawrences, aka Riley's siblings, got teleported into the world, and Silencer's the one who sent them all to those worlds. But Silencer didn't choose those worlds for them. Those worlds / universes chose them to be in it. So that's what I'm gonna put in there. But as for Silencer, he is very unique and has a very shy personality when it comes to being around people. He may not be strong or aggressive, but he does have a heart for others. He really has a heart for most people. But he will get aggressive when his past gets brought up or he lives from his trauma. He can also spy on other people from different universes. So that's how he can see other universes from most people he would choose. But he would spy on Agony over time until they actually meet in Revamping Returns. Whenever he sees Agony's father or Cynical or any other enemies she encounters, he would have a deep hatred for them. Because even though he never met them in person, he had a very deep hatred for them, watching them how they treat Agony. Whoever mistreats Agony, he mistreats them back. So it's best to get on Silencer's good side and get on Agony's good side as well. Another thing is that about Silencer's mask. He does have a mouth underneath, but his mouth is all mangled and messed up, so that's why he usually wears his mask often. Hallows is the one who did it. But that's all I can explain for Silencer's lore. Now, onto the relationships lore. The first one up is Hallows and Agony's relationship lore. Yes, they did used to date back then because Agony actually thought that he loved her and actually thought that somebody actually cares about who she was, but boy, she was wrong. Very, very wrong. But ever since then, now in the present times, they have a deep hatred for each other ever since they keep meeting. Even if they have a one-turn glare at each other, it's a glare full of hate, and that will immediately explode. Midnight's probably heard of her ex before, so he would probably finish him off within one swing, but Hallows refuses for that to happen. But Agony would like to do that job if she ever runs to her ex once again, which they will in Revamping Returns, but let me tell you, it will not end up well once they run into each other. No matter what, Hallows will always see her as a mistake, meanwhile Agony will always see them as a slithering snake. Now on to Hallows and Silencer's relationship with each other as brothers. They are bornly blooded related as twin brothers, but they aren't the best ones, because Silencer would usually get abused by Hallows over time as they grow up. Well, not when they were kids, but as they got older. Hallows became more focused onto his destiny and goal of being destruction, including no love. Meanwhile, Silencer doesn't believe in that lie anymore. He always wanted to try to get along with his brother until it was very hopeless. So he moved on and be with Agony instead. After all, he'd rather stay away from Hallows as far as possible, and never wants to be with him again. And as for Hallows, he is a deadly one to him, so it's best for them not to be together. Protect this boy, Silencer, because he's been through enough. Now finally, I'm going to be starting talking about a healthy relationship they both have. As I said earlier, Silencer sees Agony as a big sister, someone he actually looks up to. And Agony always wants to look for someone who truly cares about her and understands her more than anything. So they are perfect for each other. So Silencer usually looks up to her as a big sister and wants to protect her from all enemies at all cost. Meanwhile, Agony wants to protect all of her cared and loved ones as she got older, and that includes Silencer as well, since she knows he's been through enough, including her ex. And she wants to do whatever she can to free Silencer from this curse that has been holding them back for a very, very long time, since Silencer told her everything about what the thing should have been. But it'd still be awkward trying to invite Silencer over to her shallow family dinner, because she has about 7 siblings, and one of them is truly evil. Meanwhile, Silencer just be like, yeah. And yeah, I think that's all the thing I can explain about them both. I am so relieved and done that I am finished with episode 2 and explaining much lore as I can about it. And I'm very sorry that I have to hold it back within a few days, because I did tell you all that I was very sick, and that was not a lie. I was very not feeling so well, and I felt very horrible. Even though I knew I had to post the episode of The Aftermath 9.5, that's when I had to try to finish it before I could even try to finish the episode 2 of the lore episode. So yeah, my voice is very tired from explaining all this, and I really hope you guys enjoyed episode 2 of the lore series, and bye-bye.